we bring in a friend who we've known for years and years and years. He's an author, relationship therapist, Dr. R.G. Allen Wilson.
Some expert advice on how we can all talk to them. Joining us now is relationship expert Dr. R.G. Allen Wilson. She's the author of Courageous Conversations Connect. Good morning, R.G.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Janelle. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And as we mentioned, a lot of people just dealing with anxiety during all of this. What are your suggestions?
Some of the things that we need to remember is that this is temporary. This is temporary inconvenience for long-term gain. And as long as we stay healthy, Janelle, then everything else is recoverable.
Talk to your children about what's happening right now. What are the best ways to do that?
There's some do's and don'ts, right? So you want to tell them that you're going to be here. We're going to be okay. Kids want to know that they're secure and they're safe. So predictability, structure, and consistency. You also want to let them know you have a plan. And even if you don't have a plan, tell them that you're working on one.
Happy New Year, everyone. Oh my goodness. Welcome. This is the Courageous Conversations Connect space, and it is 2021. This is Dr. R.G. Allen Wilson, yours truly. Welcome. Hey, crew. I missed you. Morgan missed you. I hope everybody had a great time. Come on into this Courageous Conversations Connect space, crew. Come on in Facebook. Come on in IG. Welcome. And our YouTube family. If you haven't yet, let a friend know, tag them, let them know we're in the Courageous Conversations Connect space and we are having our Courageous Conversations talk. So listen, I already see BJ. Good morning, BJ. Happy New Year to you. I see Charla. I see Treasure. Karen Thompson. Good morning. I see Stephanie. The crew is here. This is great. Listen, I missed you guys. We definitely missed you guys. And we've got a great show lined up for 2021. This is our season 2, believe it or not. Do y'all believe it? We started this in March of 2020, right when we were all in quarantine. That's why I keep calling it the quarantine talks. We were all in quarantine at the time. We had really nothing to do. You know, some people were working from home, but we were all trying to figure it out. And Morgan and I were like, well, what can we do? How can we create a safe space to talk about our anxiety, talk about our fears, talk about how it is that we don't know what's going on, what this whole social distancing is all about, and wearing masks and washing our hands 10 million times so that we have to have moisturizer. What was this all about? And that was in 2020. And now we're in season 2. This is episode 1, if you will. And we made it, guys. I see Mother Waller. Hey, Mother Waller. Happy New Year. It's good to see you. Listen, we're talking about today, this far by faith. Now, y'all know that, and Mother Waller's on, so she can attest to this because her son, who is my very dear friend, Reverend Dr. Alan E. Waller, is the senior pastor of Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church. And the theme for this year is Ride by Faith at our church. And so I thought, well, we need to talk about faith matters, right? And how it is that we really made it through 2020 by faith, this far by faith. And so making it to the other side of 2020, I want us to talk about what that means to all of us, because some people did not make it to the other side of 2020. We are amongst the fortunate and amongst the blessed to have gotten here, 2021. And we've got some historic things that are happening as we speak that happened. I was up kind of late last night, turned on the TV. Shout out to Georgia. Y'all did the darn thing. And I call it Black Joy. Black Joy did the thing, right? It was not hate. It was really fighting for our rights. And so for the first time, we're bringing in a Black person to the Senate with, a historic move. And shout out to Stacey Abrams, who lost 2 years ago and then made it her mission to get the vote out. And so we've got some historic things to talk about. I see Michelle on. Hey, Michelle, Happy New Year. I see Larissa on. Hey, so listen, what we're going to do, IG family, stay with us, Facebook family, YouTube family, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. You guys need to let me know. We haven't changed anything in terms of our format. So you need to think about who you're breathing for and who you're breathing with so that we can get into our breathing exercise when we come back from our break. So stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, here we go again. This is yours truly, Dr. RG, here for the Courageous Conversations Connect space. This is January 6, 2021. We are all here as a part of our crew in the Courageous Conversations Connect space, and we are talking about this far by faith, making it to the other side of 2020. So you all tell me, and Michelle says, I missed the crew. We all missed each other, didn't we? Oh my goodness. But Morgan and I had a great time just kind of relaxing, vegging out, did some Netflix. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Y'all tell me what y'all have been binging on with Netflix or, you know, whatever your shows of choices are. But think about crew. You all know crew stands for Connecting Relationships for Epic Wins. Make sure you tag a friend. Make sure you let people know that we're on. Again, we're rocking this thing out. So every single Wednesday going into 2021, we will be here at 10 a.m. Let people know. Tag this, share this video so that if others aren't able to watch in real live time, that they're able to see what we're talking about. I'll be giving tips about how to move into 2021, what promises and commitments we need to make to ourselves. We're going to be talking about all that today as well. And so think about who y'all breathing. Y'all tell me who you're breathing. Mother Waller, I know she's there. Who are you breathing with? We're going to, in about 2 minutes, go into our breathing exercise. And I'll start with who I'm breathing for and with. I am still breathing for and with all of those essential workers that we cannot forget about. They're still out there. We know that we're in a second wave. We know IG family, Facebook, YouTube. We know that there are people where the numbers are up. There's an uptick with the numbers. There's lots of people hospitalized. We have over 350,000 people that have, succumbed to this virus. And those essential workers, not just the medical professionals, the police officers, the firefighters, the pharmacy workers, the bus drivers, the UPS drivers, the Amazon driver, like there are people out there and they're working and they're still putting their lives on the line for us so that we can sit here and do this, have a conversation while people are actually out there in the elements. And this virus is still raging throughout the world, quite frankly. And there are second strains. I think there's a South African strain now, and there's another European strain. So it's still out there, and we need to continue to take the necessary precautions to keep ourselves safe. But that's who I'm breathing for and with. BJ says, my family had a family member pass over Christmas. A personal friend's mother passed away due to COVID within 24 hours. Oh my goodness. So prayers up, BJ, for your family member and your friend. Yes, people are still dying. We need to still do our due diligence. So we're going to be breathing for BJ's family and her friend as well. Larissa says she's breathing for her daughter-in-law. She had a car accident. Oh, I hope that she is okay. So we're breathing for Larissa's daughter-in-law, daughter-in-love, if you will. Stephanie says Happy New Year. And she's breathing for the nation. Shout out for that, right? Because this whole thing that we're going through has been quite a trip. It's been a bit much, right? And so, yes, we need to be breathing for the nation. I know that there are people going into Washington as we speak to protest, and we want to make sure that people are safe. We want to breathe in and breathe out for the safety of our nation, for the safety of the people, even within the protest. And our democracy really means that we are the people, and the people have power, and we are taking our power back so that we can make good decisions, and we hold our legislators and our elected officials accountable for doing the necessary things to make decisions in our best interest, quite frankly. Michelle says she's prayers for her daughter-in-law. She was praying for Larissa's daughter-in-law. All right. So it is 10:11. Let's get into our posture, everybody. Your middle finger to your thumb, or one hand over the next, or you can put your hands to your side. Try to get your back kind of straight. I know everybody's been sitting a lot, and so they've been having back problems. IG family, Facebook family, YouTube family, just kind of get your back erect as you can. Feet to the floor, kind of do a little wiggle to kind of loosen yourself up. And at the count of 3, I'm going to ask everyone to breathe in through their nose. We hold it for 8 seconds. We're still doing that because we haven't forgotten about George Floyd and all of those others that have died at the hands of the police officers. And by the way, there are great police officers, but unfortunately, there are not so great police officers. So we're going to hold it for 8 seconds and let it go. We're going to do that 5 times, and then we're going to get into our discussion. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. One last time, crew, make it count. Breathe in. And out. That felt good, right? That felt really good. So keep doing that. Keep doing that throughout the day. You do understand that with this coronavirus, it is attacking people's lung capacity, right? And so we have to build up our immune system. And a really great way to build up your immune system, in addition to taking your supplements and eating well and exercising, is breathing, right? A breath should not be taken for granted. Too often we talk really fast and we have very shallow breathing, and we don't build up our lung capacity to breathe that good oxygen in and breathe out the carbon dioxide. Also, when we're breathing in, when you do this throughout the day, I want you to breathe in hope and love and peace and joy and serenity and care for one another and kindness, right? Breathe in all of that good stuff, and breathe out, just like we breathe out carbon dioxide that is not good for us, we breathe out fear and worry and frustration and pain, right? And all of those toxic emotions that are really not helpful for us. All right. So that's what I want you to do. Hey, Jenny, good morning. She says, good morning, Mama, sending love and blessings your way. Happy New Year, crew. Good morning, Jenny. It's great to see you. I missed you guys. All right. So let's get into our, good morning, Sheila. I see Sheila there. She says she's breathing. I can't see her whole message for some reason. Let me see if I can go further down. Breathe. She just says breathe. All right. Good morning, my love. I'm so glad that you're doing better, Sheila. I know that you were down for a bit, you and the hubby, but God did not count you out. And I'm so glad that you are still here with us to do the work. For those of you who may not know, Sheila is a very dear friend of mine, and she has a practice called Soul Transformation. So she is a therapist. She is doing the darn thing. And so, again, we want to talk about good mental health as well throughout this platform. And she is one of those persons that is doing the work that's a part of her ministry. And so it's called Soul Transformation. Sheila, if you're here, put your information in the chat so other people can see what you're doing and also have your information. Cynthia's here. Good morning, dear. Glad to see you. Blessings to you, Cynthia. Thank you and welcome. All right. So listen, this is what we're talking about. I said a little bit earlier, IG family, Facebook family, YouTube family, that, at our church, it's our theme is Ride by Faith, right, for this year, because we've been through something, right, in 2020. And so today we're talking about this far by faith. You all know I often put that in the hashtag this far by faith, because I really know that we don't get here. We're not here without our faith, right? And what does that look like? Well, my good friend Austin Jefferson often says, and Morgan's spiritual father, that faith and fear do not reside in the same space. So one has to make a decision. Are you going to be paralyzed by fear? Are you going to be in a holding pattern? Are you going to be stuck? Or are you going to move forward by faith, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you see it, right? Faith can never reside in the same space with fear. So it doesn't often always mean that you see what the end is going to be. It doesn't mean that you see what tomorrow's going to be. It means that in essence that you are trusting, as our pastor said on Sunday, that you're trusting the precedence of what has already happened, right? And for me is God. I trust what God has already done for me time and time and time and time again. And so I have, as they say, so the talking heads, I have the receipts. I have the receipts that basically tell me that whatever God had done for me already, that he's going to do it again. Why would I doubt him? And so you all tell me, I want to hear from you this far by faith. What kept you in 2020? If you trusted that you've gotten here on the other side of 2020 by faith, this far by faith, what was your faith about? I want to hear in the chat. This is a part of, remember, we say in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, that this is a dialogue, not a monologue. So in our crew, which stands for Connecting Relationships for Epic Wins, we want to have a conversation. This is also about Courageous Conversations Connect, right? Space. So this is the space where we can talk about our fears, our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, our ambitions. And we don't get here without, I believe, God. That's my personal belief. And I also believe we don't get here without each other. So what did you look for within your faith? What is one or two things in the chat that you connected with within your faith that made you stronger in 2020 that has ushered you in to 2021? Because again, when we think about, I think I said this, I was thinking about this morning. One day I was talking to a good friend of mine, Roger Laseth. He's one of our sponsors. And Roger has a wonderful security firm. And we were it was right after church, and he was sharing something about what had going on. And I said, Roger, see, the thing that you don't quite understand is that, or maybe you do understand it, but this is a conversation I think that we need to have, which is that the problem that you're talking about may be a different problem, but it's the same God, right? Same God, different problem. And so if he handled the problem before, why would you think that he would not be able to handle the problem now? So for me, the receipts, the precedents, and you all tell me what it is for you, is really that I look at all the agency of all the various times where I thought I was out, but God didn't. He did not count me out. And we continued. And we're going to have testimony after testimony after testimony to prove that ultimately what's done for evil, will be for good. And so I see, Cynthia says, move by faith. By faith and soul transformation, by the way, Sheila put that in the chat. So make sure that you all look at her information. It's soultransformationtherapy.com. Check her out. She's an amazing therapist. Shout out for all the therapists that shifted. That was one of the things that Morgan and I did with our practice very early on in March, as we shifted to the online platform so that we could continue our mission and our ministry to heal families one relationship at a time and transform relationships one courageous conversation at a time. And so that's what we did. What did you do in 2020? One of the things I think is really, really important is that we need to look at the lessons learned. In addition to thinking about the precedent, think about the lessons learned. As we've gotten ushered into 2021, we've got to look at what did we learn about ourselves that really helped us to not just go through and not just transform, but grow through to the other side. This was a transformative process. I got to tell you, if you are not changed in this moment in 2021, based on perhaps all the tests that you've had in 2020 that ultimately turned into your testimony, then I don't know what to say. IG family, Facebook family, YouTube family, tell me, what did you utilize in your faith that got you through 2020 into 2021? Cynthia says, the negative things that others have placed in my life were handled exclusively by God. He did not allow me to react, but to continue my journey via him, right? So I love that what you're saying, Cynthia, because think about this, this is an exercise that I tell all of my clients to do. Think about, and she's talking about the negative things that others have placed in her life, right? We can reject that. We can reject that negative energy. It's all energy, right? And we also have to think about, in 2020, in those lessons, who in your relationships added to your life, who subtracted, who multiplied, and who divided. And once you kind of come up with that tally, if you will, then you got to relocate some folks in order to move into the next level, because in every level, everybody can't go to the next level with you. Some people have to stay where they're at, no shade, but some people do have to stay where they're at, and you pray for them, but you also cannot always take them with you. Sheila says, being positive for coronavirus and still here to give my testimony. The positive diagnosis strengthened my faith in God, and I have new receipts about God's faithfulness. I love it. Oh my goodness, Sheila. For one, I went into prayer right in the moment when I got the text from my one of my besties, Sheila, about her positive diagnosis. And I said, Lord, we are witness to your grace, your mercy. We are a witness to all of your goodness. And we are a witness to all the things that you've made ways out of no way. Do this time with my friend Sheila, and she is here to talk about it. Last week she said she was feeling better. She's clearly on the platform now. And it's just all praises to God for her being here and being healthy. And again, she's got new receipts, she said, to talk about what God has done for her and having tested positive. She's a witness, and quite frankly, for all of us, and she may not necessarily know how she contracted it, but we have to stay vigilant, you all. This virus is still raging, and we need to continue to stay vigilant. Michelle says, I need to learn and adhere to this lesson. Now, which lesson are you talking about, Michelle? Tell me, because she said, looking forward to it. So specifically tell me what lesson that you are needing to learn and adhere to. Cynthia says, and I am still here because of God and are already receiving what God has for me in 2020. Awesome. Hey, and I see, oh my goodness, I see my bestie, my BFF Melissa's on. Good morning. Thank you. She says, I look beautiful. Thank you so much, darling. And thank you for joining. Tell me, Melissa, and by the way, we are good for making sure that we lift up all of our people within the platform, our crew, connecting for relationships for epic wins that come on and that have businesses. So you all know my BFF has a business that she started, she and her husband and the Ayers family, Nothing But Kinks. And as soon as we did the grand opening, of which I was there, then the pandemic hit. And so she had to draw on her faith and the faith of, her family to get her through. And so please, support Nothing But Cakes. It's in Collegeville. Melissa, I know that you're on. I love you too so much. Please make sure that you put your information in the chat so that everybody knows to support your business and make sure that if they want something really sweet, and trust me, sometimes we need something sweet to kind of get us through, that you all support her business. It is a thriving business, and you'll not only get the love, the sweetness of the butt cakes, but you'll get the sweetness of her staff and of her family, and she'll kind of love on you and make sure that you get everything you need. So just make sure that you support. We got to support our Black businesses and keep them going. Michelle says, in response to Cynthia Talley's, who said that she's about to allow God to handle it and not to react. Gotcha. Okay. Got you. So think about this. If this is all energy, right? If this is all energy, when we think about what God has done for us, and certainly what our family and friends are doing for each other, because this is a faith walk. And we, have been transformed and transitioned from one year to the next in a way that is allowing us to look back and think about how we made it through. this far by faith. So it's the precedence of what God's done for us, and it's the lessons that we've learned, and it is the belief that if we did that, God brought us through that, then we can do anything. 2020 is on and popping. We're actually already seeing the manifestation of God's grace and mercy as we move into 2021. Also, I want to hear some praise reports. Sheila already shared about the fact that she is well, and she would tested positive from coronavirus. What else do you want to share with your crew about what you experienced and what your testimony is going into 2021? Melissa says, thank you. Heard Nothing But Cakes is Collegeville, and the number is 610-988-2253. That's 610-988-2253. So please patronize her. Look out for her. Make sure that you also reach out and to Sheila Boynton's website, soultransformationtherapy.com. We need therapy, and you all know that I'm still doing the work as well. If you want to reach out to me, you can certainly reach out at 789. What is the number? 789-6999. I believe that's the number. Or you can reach out at contact us at connection.
Really?
Did I get that wrong?
Really? No, you got it right, but you was like,
You know what? It's the funny thing about it is I'm so, this modern technology, you don't usually recite your. So if I don't see it, I have to visualize it in my head. And usually hubby, business partner, the one that kind of keeps everything moving reminds me, no, Arj, you got that wrong. So thank you, babe. I'm glad I got that wrong.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
All right. So Melissa says, how we made it good, bad, and indifferent. Yes, absolutely. But what changes can be made to do better and be better? I love it. I love it. And then, of course, her number is, so that's an easy way to remember Nothing But Cakes when you guys want some cakes. 610-989-CAKE. 610-989-CAKE. So that's an easy way to remember it. And also, Sheila is, it's soultransformationtherapy.com. Oh, not com, .co. Gotcha. Okay. Soultransformationtherapy.co, not .com. All right. Good. So, guys,
We know that we need to look at the precedent, how we have gotten through. We know that we need to look at the lessons learned, and boy, do we have a lot of lessons learned. I also want to keep this real. It's important when we think about the lessons learned that we talk about or think about where we fell short. Like, what things did we not do so well? Maybe our faith was challenged. Maybe IG family, Facebook family, YouTube family, maybe we lost our temper way too many times. Maybe we got too frustrated. What was it that we didn't do so well that we can actually learn from? Sheila says, faith is the discipline we have to practice, to live, to get through. The more we trust God and ride by faith, the less we react and the more we respond by faith. I would say, right? Facts that we have to have some discipline. And when I think about the things that I've not done so well, to be honest with you, because this is about our crew, keeping it real, right? And so we need to have these courageous conversations, connect space. I think the thing that I didn't do so well, if I'm really, really honest, is I didn't do so well in taking really great care of myself. I was trying. I started out, doing my, exercising and sort of, meditation. The one thing I think I did pretty well was I kept with my meditation and my mindfulness. But in terms of the moving, y'all remember the 4 M's that I said, bookend, right? Bookend your day with mindfulness, meditation, movement, meaningful engagement, and music, right? BJ always, it's interesting. BJ will always remember 4 of the 5 M's, right? I think she always forgets the meaningful engagement, or one of them she always forgets, but it's movement. For anybody that's new to the platform, I say bookend your day with 4 M's, right? In the morning, mindfulness, how you set your intentions, what your day is going to be like. Then meditation, how you're going to create this positive mindset that moves you into your day. then you got to do some movement. You got to move your body. IG family, Facebook family, YouTube, you got to move your body. And then meaningful engagement, just like what we're doing today. Our crew stands for connecting relationships for epic wins. So that's a meaningful engagement. But you might want to text a friend. You might want to say something positive to your partner or your children. You might want to say something positive to yourself. Whatever it is, have some meaningful engagement. And then use music. Music is healing. These are things that can help us. But I will tell you again, I probably didn't do the best job of balancing my days out. I think I maybe was working a little bit too hard, right? Nothing wrong with hard work, but not when you don't have a balance, then that's problematic. And so that's the thing that I learned most that I'm going to do a better job of is taking care of myself. I'm starting making sure that I'm drinking more water, taking my supplements, because we do have to build our immune system up. So whatever your form of supplements are, keeping vitamin D or B12 or, elderberry, turmeric, whatever you do, you got to make sure you do it consistently. That's really, really important. And again, Melissa says, but what changes can we make to do better and be better, right? And so for me, it's taking care of my vessel. You all tell me about what you need to do, because this is about, we're now in 2021. We've been through some storms, right? And maybe everybody wasn't in the same boat, but we were in the same storm, right? And maybe just on different boats. And so when we think about the grace that has ushered us into 2021, shouldn't we be better, right? And not bitter? There are some people that only focus on how bad 2020 was. And my thing was, don't delete it, learn from it. Use those new receipts, as Sheila talked about, to help you to transform your life. And if nothing but to know that God's grace and mercy got you through to 2021, then all right. Now, what is it that you didn't get accomplished that you need to finish in 2021, right? Write the book, start the business, start the practice, go back to school, whatever you need to do. Have a better relationship with your partner. Have a better relationship with your children. Have a better relationship with yourself. How about you start with some forgiveness of yourself for things that you didn't do so well, and then restart, reset, refuel, and then rejuvenize in order to move into 2021 first quarter, like with the boss moves, if you will. Larissa says, I got through by trusting God, spending time with him and his word. It gave me hope, enhanced my relationship, and increased my faith in him. I love it. Amen to that. Daryl says, good day, Daryl. Daryl, oh my goodness. Let me tell, I'm gonna tell you about Daryl in a minute, because we want to highlight the people that are doing the darn thing out there. And Daryl Montague is absolutely one of them. And so Daryl, also, as we're talking, tell me what you learned about yourself in 2020 and what part of your faith got you to 2021. Tamara's on. Good morning, Tamara. Welcome to the show. And Melissa says, each day we have another opportunity that God gives us to try and succeed again. Right. God is not a God of a second chance. I believe, this is just my belief, God is a God of another chance. So we get chance after chance after chance. But I also think that we have to show ourselves approved, right? And if we've gotten here this far by faith, right, not based on what we saw, but based on what we believed, if we use the receipts and the precedents, if we actually learn the lessons, and if we actually believe that anything is possible, that we've grown through this storm and had the moment of transformation to get to the other side, why not use that? Why not use all of those lessons as a benchmark for how great it can be, how we can be better, of course, and not bitter. Daryl, I'm still waiting to hear from you in terms of what is that you learned. Daryl Montague, for those of you who don't know, and please put your information in the chat, Daryl, is Morgan, and I call him Swiss Army knife, right? Because Daryl basically knows everything. I mean, we call him for stuff that is probably even out of the range of, what he does for us, but we still call him nevertheless. Oh, Daryl will know about that. but Daryl is basically responsible for a lot of our social media engagement. He is responsible for maintaining our website. He's responsible for sort of all of the search engine optimization. And for those of you who are looking to bolster your business and looking to make sure that you are in these spaces based on technology, whether it's social media, whether it's your website, those blogs or what have you, Daryl is the bomb.com. And he also has a new platform out, and we'll probably be making sure that gets highlighted in the next shows. And I believe, and Morgan, you'll help me if I'm wrong with this, I think it's called Easy Make Social. And the Easy Make Social is an opportunity for many people to come on and really create a social platform for positive engagement. So check it out, and Daryl will probably put that in the chat so that we can make sure that you all know what's going on. Daryl says, don't hesitate, learn God's will and work in it. Fear should never be the reason for not moving. And it's easymakesystems.com. That's his information, Easy Make Systems. I love that. Fear should never be the reason for not moving. Fear should never be the reason for not moving. I love it. I love it. And you are, it's easy. It's EMAR Social, RS, emarssocial.com. That's what his new platform is. So check it out, emarssocial.com. And Sheila says, storms reveal the condition for our foundation. That's where the lessons are. It's easy to have faith when there's sunshine, but when there's storms come, we can evaluate our faith condition. Absolutely. And I really think that there's something to be said, you all, about these storms. And I learned this a long time ago from our pastor, Reverend Dr. Alan E. Waller. He often talked about storms are meant to teach us something. Storms are not just storms for storm's sake, if you will. And many of us are in maybe different boats, like I said, but in the same storm, the storm of a pandemic, the collision between, quite frankly, two pandemics, COVID-19 and systemic racism. But what did it teach you? When storms come, it's about a clearing. And so we're supposed to storms are meant for correction. Storms are meant for constriction. Storms are meant for connection, right? And when we think about with the storm that we've all been in, was there a point where you were corrected on something? Was there a point where you were constricted? Like maybe you were just doing a bunch of extra stuff and you needed to kind of be reined in, if you will. Was that storm meant to connect you? Was there a rift that you had with someone and you decided that we're all in this storm together? Why am I mad about this? What in the world? It doesn't matter that much that I would not reach out, care for my, loved one or someone that cares about me, reach out, forgive, or quite frankly, was it you that you were mad at and you were unable to forgive? So these storms have utility. I guess that's my point, that we didn't go through all of this. We didn't grow through all of this to get to the other side of 2021 and not have learned something about ourselves and not be better. Today, even last night, I turned on the TV at 3:00 because I was nervous about the election in Georgia. And we made this, and I say we because it's collective, an historic landmark, right? The first African-American person being elected into the Senate in Georgia, a deep red state. The first, I think, Jewish American person, and they haven't called it yet, but it looks like that's on its way. Talk about Stacey Abrams, just doing the darn thing, which shows you that just because you lose doesn't mean you stop. You keep moving. And so I guess I want to ask you the question as a part of the crew for you to think about, place in the chat, and then maybe even come back next week and we can talk a little bit more about it, is how you moving in 2021? How are you moving? I was in a therapy session maybe about a month ago. And, of course, it's all confidential. So I can't necessarily tell you exactly who the person was, right? That would not be appropriate. But I can tell you the content of the conversation. And the content of the conversation was about how a person's moving, right? How people move. Have you ever thought about that as we think about how you reset your mindset? How are you moving? I tend to think, crew, IG, YouTube, Facebook family, I think that sometimes we're way more transparent than we realize. And so as we think about this far by faith, as we think about making it to the other side of 2020, so my pastor used to say, dogs don't bark at parked cars. How are you moving? What energy are you investing in yourself and in others? What energy are you absorbing? Are you absorbing negative energy? Because, it's been said that, show me who you are and I'll show you who you walk with. Show me who you walk with and I'll show you who you are. So are you absorbing negative energy from people? Are you giving out negative energy? Or are you harnessing positive energy so that it reverberates in the atmosphere? You know how you throw a pebble in the water and it, you see the circles fanning out? Well, that's kind of how the energy is. Are you putting that energy out there? Tamara says forgiveness always seems to come into play when dealing with so many issues in our lives. Absolutely. Forgiveness is key. But guess what, Tamara? A lot of us are so busy not forgiving others, focusing on that energy, but we have forgotten that probably we haven't really focused the energy on forgiving ourselves for whatever, right? I talked about the thing that I didn't do so well in 2020, and I'm now committed to doing better, right? And, a lot of people talk about New Year's resolutions. I don't really deal too much with New Year's resolutions, but I do think going into the new year, we may need to make commitments to ourselves. I do think in, the new year, we need to make promises to ourselves. And then I think we need to be about the business of keeping those promises. So how you moving? Are you moving pretty well in 2021, January 6th, 2021, 6 days in? Are you consistent? Did you fall short? IG family, Facebook family, YouTube family, or are you keeping it moving in a positive direction? And if you were moving negatively, it is not too late. We're only 6 days in. Stop it. Stop it. Recalibrate this thing. You're only 6 days in. You can shift gears, you can pivot, and you can move in a positive direction. If in your head you're thinking is telling you, listen, 2020 was horrible. All these things happened. I didn't make movement. I didn't accomplish the things I wanted to accomplish. Stop it. Because you're breathing and you're here. That's testimony enough. So let's rock this thing out and move into a more positive space. Cynthia says, absolutely. When we lose, we need to realize that if it was meant for us to have, we would not have lost it. It means something somewhere was missing in it. Thank God for not allowing disruption in your life. I love it. Absolutely, Cynthia. And as we talk about resetting our mindset, that's one of the things that we need to think about. How do we recalibrate our mindset so that we don't allow disruption in our life? Last year, 2020, we talked about grit quite a bit. What's your fear factor? Are you gritty enough? What's your grit? What does it stand for? These are some of the things I think are beneficial to us in 2021 as well. Tyrone is like, hey, Tyrone, Happy New Year to you. He said, I'm on it. New Year, big, this, sis. I love it. And Tamara says, especially forgiving ourselves. Tyrone says, you can't forgive anyone unless you've learned to forgive self. And forgiving self may need to happen often until the healing shows up, right? And then Tamara says, I love your term of commitment and promises to ourselves versus resolutions. Absolutely. Tyrone and Tamara are absolutely right. The forgiveness of ourselves is essential, right? Think about this from the perspective, guys, of like our essential workers. We couldn't survive if those essential workers weren't out there doing the darn thing, making it happen, making sure that we're safe, right? But there's some other essential workers. And those essential workers are the things that we need to do internally, the essential work inside that has to happen, that births that new business, that births that new book, that births that new business engagement or that new project. All that requires that we put the essential work done. We put that in on the inside of us in order for us to be successful and significant in this year of 2021. So don't quit now after we did all this in 2020, IG family, Facebook family, YouTube, we did all that continual hard work to get to the other side. It's not time to quit. Actually, it's time to ramp up, right? It's time to ramp up. And Cynthia says, just thank God for now behind that it's now behind you, and strengthen your faith and stand on your faith for your growth in life. Absolutely. Gratitude. It's called the attitude of gratitude, right? In 2021. That's what we're learning, right? We're learning that, joy matters. And even in the midst of the storm, we can choose joy, right? For those of you who don't know, I got a book out. We did an edit. So this is the re-edited version. We did this at the end of 2020. It's called Courageous Conversations Connect, right? And you can get this, you can go to A Pathway to Reset Your Mindset with Intentional Thoughts from the Inside Out. You can go to drrg.com. You can purchase this. A lot of people purchase this for Christmas gifts, but I also think it's a great gift to purchase for, did I get it wrong again?
Come on, babe. drrgconnects.com. It's not drrg.com. You said drrg.com. It's drrgconnects.com.
Oh, okay. My bad. That's why I have him to correct me. drrgconnects.com. I think it's, what do you think, Lord? I think it's a great for the new year, right? To begin. For those of you who don't know, it was a journey to get to this first book. I am presently working on the next book, but this particular book specifically starts out with a chapter called Radical Self-Care in Action, right? Radical self-care in action, because I don't believe that we can be good to anybody else if we're not good to ourselves. And so it starts out with a chapter of thinking about how do you have the courageous conversations with yourself in order to have courageous conversations with other people. And it gives you 52 weeks of journaling. So every single week you have a new courageous conversation, a new call to action, because I'm a therapist, right? So I'm gonna give you some stuff to do. And nobody comes to me for therapy that does not have a homework assignment. Everybody's going to have something to do. So I give you calls to action and then the opportunity to journal your courageous actions once you've evaluated what you need to do. So it's 52 weeks of courageous conversations, 52 weeks of calls to action, and 52 weeks of courageous actions, starting out with radical self-care in action, right?
So what we're going to do is that we're going to do the workbook webinar, and it's going to be a opportunity for the crew and anybody else to do, I don't know if it's going to be 3-day or 5-day process where we're going to actually do an actual workout space to really work through the book. And RG is about to complete and finish the actual workbook, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So when we put the link out, I would urge you, hurry up, get your spots, get your spaces, register quickly, because there's only a limited space and amount of people we're going to do this with, okay? And then from there, we'll be able to work out how we're going to scale it out. But it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. People have been asking for it. We are a small crew. I keep saying we are a boutique operation. So we have a team, but we don't have a large team. So we're working on this to do this work, and it takes time. It takes effort. I mean, we had plans over the holiday. I can be transparent, RS. I'm quite sure you don't mind that. We had plans over the holiday to kind of take some time and not do so much work in terms of how we do the show and then the everyday practice stuff, and try to go within and try to produce some things. But I'll be honest with you, we were tired. We were just tired. I mean, it's been a long year. 2020 has been just a stress on everyone. across the board, our practice has seen a significant uptick. So that add on layers of extra work and trying to process all that, and then all the other things we were doing. So we just couldn't get it all done. That's just being honest with you. So we're going to go in the first quarter, committing to ourselves and committing to you guys who want to work, that we're going to put together this workbook and put together this seminar and this workspace to do the actual process and really unravel, to do that deep dive stuff, because we realize this coming on once a week is just not enough. You can't really get into the layers and the specifics of how to unravel this courageous conversation that connect. Courageous conversation connect is not just having a generic conversation. It's really doing the deep dive on it. So there's some direction, there's a process that we want to do, and Arj, you're going to facilitate that and make that happen. So just pray for us that we can continue to have the energy to do that work and make sure that happens. Okay, guys. Just wanted to come on and kind of give some detail to that. All right.
Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. So
All right.
listen, but babe, Cynthia said she didn't get her book. You got to check in on that.
Who?
She says never came.
Who?
Cynthia Talley.
Cynthia. All right, so here's the deal, Cynthia. The book was mailed. I got receipts. I have tracking numbers. We've had some issues. The post office is just jacked up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what we can do about it. All I can do at this point is to provide you with the tracking. But here's the problem. The problem is, even if I give you the tracking number, that may not even work, because they weren't even entering the book or the mail properly to even produce a tracking number on their side. They would give me a receipt that had tracking number on it, but it wasn't processed or entered into the system properly. So therefore, even if I have a tracking number, it's not anywhere I can go in to track it. So we had people that had.
Did you find out about Carla? Because she said something about.
Yeah, same thing here. I mean, I sent her a copy, a screenshot of the receipt and the tracking number. It is a problem. So,
you may have to try to send that a different way, babe.
So what? Say again.
So we may have to try to send these books a different way, because they're just out there in the universe.
I'm going to try to figure that out. At this point, I'm really trying to come up with another way, like you said, and figure out what other way we have to do that. I mean, it may require us to, it may incur more cost to ship it if I go through UPS. Something like that, which is more of a reliable source, it seems like, because they can get it. If you buy something online, Amazon, it's getting to you. It's getting to you.
Yeah, so that's what somebody said, can you get it on Amazon? And yes, you can get it on Amazon. You can.
Say again? Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. Yes, you can. Yes.
Rich said good day. Happy New Year.
Rich, what's up, man? Happy New Year to you.
And Sheila,
Happy New Year. I gotta shout out all my brothers online, because we're always outnumbered. So Big Time, what's up, bro? Rich, what's up, man? Any other brother who's on this platform, if you want to just put a quick shout out, let me know you're here, you're listening. I'd appreciate that. That. I love that, because I'm always outnumbered.
Morgan's outnumbered.
Always outnumbered, man. So
Morgan is definitely outnumbered.
Yeah, again, I apologize, Cynthia. I may do this. I'm going to reach back out to Carla as well. And if push comes to shove, if you guys don't get it by the end of this week, beginning next week, I'll just do a personal delivery to your address. All right. I may have to do that, because, at this point, we want our trusted and loyal supporters.
Yes, absolutely.
To get what they need,
Absolutely.
But again, man, I would hate you to have to go through Amazon and repurchase it again. You've already purchased it,
Right.
So, that's what we'll have to do.
We'll make it right. We'll make it right. Tyrone is on too, babe. So you gudd
I said Tyrone. I said, what's up? I said, what's up, Ty?
You got help. And Sheila, so just so that you guys know, the second edition does not have different content. We're working on the workbook that's going to have different content for IG, Facebook, YouTube, everyone. We just did some edits so that we made it tighter. And so that's what the additional edition is about. So if you already have the book and you want to purchase it for somebody else, that's fine. But you're not necessarily going to see anything that content-wise different.
It just had some grammatical errors in it, stuff like that, because we were self-published and we did a self-edit. Guess
Right.
what? You will not make that rookie mistake again. Okay.
No.
Trust me. We were being cheap. I was being cheap, and I'll take the hit. And
Well, I mean,
it wasn't horrible. Don't miss this down. I mean, trust me,
it's about lessons we learn as authors.
The book
It's
still
lessons
does
learned.
what it's supposed to do and delivers the message it's supposed
Yeah.
to deliver. But there were some grammatical errors and some things in it that we just overlooked. It just is what it is. So
Yeah.
we wanted to do a re-edit. We paid for the proper professional editing to be done, and that was done. So the book has been revised. And yes, Miss Deborah, the new edited version is up on the website. It should be up on the website now. So if you did purchase the new, make a purchase now, you will get the new edited version. That's correct. That's correct. And don't think that the version you have is, it's still quality work. Don't misunderstand. There's other literary work out there with bigger names that have some major edits in it. I've seen them. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that the majority of people would even notice
it. Correct.
We noticed
we just
it.
Noticed it. And
But most people were not going to really notice it. We just wanted it to be tight. And so now we learned. That was our first experience. You're supposed to learn from it. So it's awesome. Let's say
Ms. Deborah said frugal, not cheap.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
Thank you. So let me see. I want to make sure that we get
okay, yeah, people
my comment.
Who are you on now, babe? Who are you
on? Zora Hudson Green, which is Tamara.
Where are you at? Okay. I don't know how far.
Right underneath Rich Austin, who says you two must have self-care. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So Tamara says, my two commitments for 2021 is Courageous Conversations Connect and how to forgive ourselves totally. Awesome.
Got it.
Awesome. So and Sheila's like, we answered Sheila's question. I think we answered everybody else's question.
Yeah, we did all that. I think we're good.
Yeah. Rich says 2020 has been a challenging time. You can go down to that one under Deborah.
Got it. Okay.
But again, we are still surviving and thriving in our own ways. Awesome.
That's correct.
Yes. And Rich down here says, he says, RG, you always give pause and thoughtful things put into practice. Love you, Bob. Love you. Awesome. Thank you, Rich. Thank you. I try. Listen, Morgan and I came together. I believe God brought us together for a reason and a lifetime, not a season. And we're rocking things out. What draws us together most in our work, and I think I can say this with confidence, is our love of God, our love of each other, and our love of people, where we want to just make a difference. And certainly we want to, as Morgan always says, do good to do good. But it really gives me joy, it gives me peace, and it gives me serenity. I sleep good at night knowing that the work that we're doing is, I believe, making a difference, even on this platform. And this is a testimony today that we've been going for a couple of weeks during the holiday season, trying to get some rest, or trying to rest up for New Year. And our crew is still here. And we love you guys so much. And so we just are so grateful and thankful for our IG family, for our Facebook family, for our YouTube family. We don't take that lightly, that we are creating a platform and we're going to expand it around our crew, connecting relationships for epic wins. And so again, for those of you who are doing the darn thing in 2021, come onto our platform. We're looking for more sponsors. We're also looking to make sure that anybody that has a business that we highlighted, because we want to share. We don't want to squirrel all these things away to ourselves and not share in the wealth regarding all the gifts that we all have to offer. You agree that?
So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We need you guys to spread out the news. Hey, listen, hold watch parties, share, send the link out, let everybody know we're on every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. Now, we know that's the work day for a lot of people. Some people have the flexibility to be on like that, but they can go back and watch the broadcast. It's also important for the algorithms, Facebook, YouTube. You got to hit that like button, okay? It's also important on Facebook. Hit the like button, like, share, hearts. All those things are helping the algorithms to bring notification and let people know that's just how it works. That's this business. So, this is free content. Nobody's paying for this kind of thing. So the way you show your appreciation to us is to help us spread the word to gain more followers and gain more listeners and subscribers. That's important for us to do that. That's just the way it works. Okay. There's more things coming up because we're doing this thing. We're trying to expand those things, and that takes money. So there'll be some other opportunities for you guys to sow into this, what we call our ministry, if you will, to have the courageous conversations. And the courageous conversations, I'm gonna push a little bit, and Arj knows this. We're gonna have more courageous conversations. We're gonna try to, step on some toes, and along the way, you may, get your feelings hurt a little bit, and have the more controversial, disruptive conversation, if you will, to kind of really expand the situation. Because let's be honest, if we don't dig deep, the healing doesn't take place. And if we keep talking around the surfaces and make it all nicey and sweet and pie and, sprinkles on top, all right, that's great. But really, how does the healing begin? What do we do to really drive this conversation for people to have breakthroughs, and that's what we're really all about, having a courageous conversation and bring breakthroughs. So we're going to ramp it up a little bit, guys, in 2021. We're going to really, push the situation. And, because here's the deal. And I know, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Well, first client isn't until 12 noon, 12:30, something like that today. So here's the deal. Archie does this work every single day, all day long, with detail. Okay. And she digs in and wallows in the mess with folks. I'm just saying, listen, let's have that conversation in a broader way, because you do the work, you do the healing, but now we're trying to bring it to touch the masses, okay, in a different format, through social media, and it's okay to have it, and listen, our whole deal is to helping the harm and not helping the heal, not the harm, if you will, and that's the deal. So that's what we're trying to do, and help the healing in the process. All right, that's it. So we're going to really stretch it a little bit in 2021. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. We made it here this far by faith. We might as well, go deeper, right? Since we're here. Sheila says, RG and Morgan, your union is a testimony of what it means to have faith in God for a partner. So I'm so glad to be along for the ride. Oh, we love you, Sheila. We love you, Sheila. And our brother Larry, too.
Yeah, tell my man Larry, say what's up.
Yeah. And Cynthia says maybe one day we can do a courageous Zoom conversation. Well, actually, that's going to be what the webinar is going to be all about, because it'll be on a Zoom or some kind of platform. So stay tuned for that. Rich says, look at my, this is good, babe. Rich says, look at my, back to
wait a minute. I got ahead of us. Hold on. There you go.
Yeah. Look at my last Facebook page on why are churches full of single people. You will see several folks are hurting. So that I'm glad you mentioned that, Rich, because what we want from our crew is to give us topics that you want us to discuss that are in that space of courageous conversation, so that we can plan our conversations around the things that you all think are important, and quite frankly, go a little bit deeper. So, I'll check out your Facebook page. Certainly, I know that I'm working with lots of clients that are dealing with the concept of singleness. And so it's important to talk about that. Anika says, hey, Anika, Happy New Year. That's right, Morgan. We have to dig deep for the healing. Absolutely. And Sheila says, absolutely necessary to go deep. Soul transformation seeks to transform lives on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. Together we help to heal through connections, conversations, and courage. Yes, definitely. And check out Soul Transformation. Jill is doing a wonderful job. Also, of course, check out us.
So if you have any ideas, please send them to the email address. It's contactus@connectionsmatterllc.com, or you can contact us through the website, and that gets us to the email address, or connects us through. Connect you to us through the website, which is drrgconnects.com, or you can just call us directly at 215-789-6999, extension 1 or extension 2. But that's how you can contact with us, please, or you can DM me, whatever way you want to do it. Please drop it and leave me a message as to what you think may be a conversation idea. I think it'll be great. And we're going to have it. I mean, we're going to have it. You know, we have it the clinicians on this broadcast, RG, Sheila, I don't know who else is on that, maybe clinician, Dr. Gail usually is on. There's so many on that watch and may not necessarily comment. Hey guys, listen. If you got a topic or an idea, or you have maybe a client that you dealt with, that you had a unique situation with, that you like to discuss in the broader context to kind of bring it to us, hey, listen,
Confidentially
let me know what it is. I mean, sure, we let's assume that. My goodness, let's assume that.
No, we cannot. In the world of reality TV and things like that, we cannot assume that. So we need to just make sure, for liability reasons, that everybody knows that, you know, we don't divulge anybody's, you know, information. Just say it.
Oh my goodness. Y'all see what I deal with? Right? You see what I deal with every day? Woo!
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, babe.
I know. They said this job has asbestos in these walls, right? And so therefore, if I get emphysema, I can't blame nobody but myself, right? If I get black lung, I can't blame nobody but myself. I knew the job was dangerous when I took it, right? You got that right. I was told from day one.
I crack myself up most days. Most days. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, guys, it's a little bit after. I got to get ready for starting to see clients, and you know, we all have to, you know, go on with our day. But listen, you all know we love you. We thank you so much for coming back on this platform. Let other people know. Make sure that you share this post, share this video, so that other people know to come back on Wednesday at 10 a.m. And if you're looking for any more information about, of course, therapy, you know, Sheila's got her information there. You know, you can reach us at our information. And listen, we wish that you have a beautiful week on purpose, right? From our heart to yours. We love you guys.
Love you guys. Take care. Hold on. Let me just close this thing out. I'm right behind on this. All right, guys. Anyway, love y'all. See you.
Bye.
All right.